In this brief training video, I want to go over setting up the Google Places API. With the Google Places API, you'll be able to build very large business-to-business calling lists for free. The first thing I want to do is go over the usage limits and the billing, okay? First, as far as usage limits goes, Google allows you to pull, without putting any billing information on account with them, what's called 1,000 requests per 24 hour. But in reality, that's only 100 requests. If you don't put a credit card on file with them, you would only be able to build a list of, say, 200 to 300 names a day with that. But simply by putting a credit card on file with them, you can build a list of almost 10 to 15 to 20,000 names a day for free with the Google Places API. So in this training, what I'm going to do is walk you through setting up the API and getting your credentials and showing you where you can put in your credit card information, okay? So without further ado, let's get into the training. So first things first, if you click on the link just below this video, you're gonna be taken to the Google Developers Console, okay? First thing you're gonna wanna do is create a project by clicking on Project. You wanna give your project a name. I would simply say, Places API. All right. You can leave your project ID just the way it is. Click on Create. And what's happening now, it's going out and it's creating that project for you. It usually takes 30 seconds or so. But once that's done, you'll have a project here now, right here, like Places API. Now that will take you to this screen. The first thing you need to do is click on Enable API. And what you're going to be shown are all the various APIs available with Google. Now down here somewhere, we're going to find Places. And here is the Places API. So we want to turn it on. So that's the first thing we need to do. Now once that's turned on, that'll be moved up to the top right here. Okay, so you'll see that Places API is turned on. Next, you need to generate credentials for that. This is your API key. You simply go to Credentials. And you're not going to need the OAuth 2.0 far as your authentication. That is only when you're working with non-public data. We're going to be using the public API access. To create the key, simply click here and create a key, and you're going to create a browser key. Now what you can do to protect your API key is put in your website address, and they give you an example. I personally do not do that, so I just click on Create. And what just happened is they created the API key. So all you have to do is come in here, copy it, all right? And before we leave here, what you can do at any time is that you can always edit your refers if you want to, and you can always regenerate the key. But when you regenerate the key, the other key won't, this key will only work for 24 hours, and then it will no longer work, and you'll have to use that new key. So once you have your key, what you need to do is go over to myVirtualCaller, go to Settings, go to Google API key, just paste it in, and hit Submit. That's it. That's how easy it is. Now the last thing I want to talk to you about right now is your billing information. So what you want to do is click back on Projects, go to Billing, and all you have to do is fill out this information. Either put a bank account with them or put a credit or debit card with them. Now, again, I want to stress, they're not going to bill you unless you go over an absorbent enough of searches in a given 24-hour period, okay? Once you put your credit card on file, you should never run into an issue as far as generating business-to-business calling list, and they'll be absolutely free. So this wraps up this training. In the next training, we're actually going to go over how to use the B2B list builder inside of myVirtualCaller. See you in the next video.